Salutations, this is Brian Rolling Steel with the R.O.C. Spotlight, showcasing the people, places, and things of interest to the realm. Today we're talking to Nathan Haskill and Dustmightz, the founders of Cobra-La Records. Where are you at, gentlemen?
I am in Redondo Beach, California, just south of Los Angeles.
You know, I still can't get used to the accent, to the West Coast laid-back feel, man. It's crazy. I hear you rhyming, and then to chat live with you, it's just interesting. Dust, you out there?
Instagram, Dustmightz, at YouTube, Dustmightz, at SoundCloud, Dustmightz, at yada, yada, yada. You get it. Dustmightz, D-U-S-T-M-I-G-H-T-Z, bitch.
My Instagram is not as easy.
No.
My Instagram is at Haskill _Thundercracker _Zartan. And Twitter is at Nathan Haskill, Facebook, Nathan Haskill, all that kind of stuff. So
while we're at it, I'm just going to say buy the shirt because you should, because it's cool. Anyway, when I hear and see Nathan Haskill online, the term that comes up, the term that's discussed is nerd rap, which I guess is a subculture of hip-hop, built around pop culture elements. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I feel like I kind of took – there's another subculture called nerdcore, which I just – it's good, but it's like dudes rapping about fucking World of Warcraft for minutes or you know, songs that are strictly about Star Trek or Star Wars or – you know, so I wanted to take, you know, those elements, but still try to be, you know, the dopest MC that I could be. You know what I mean? So I kind of, you know, it's like nerd rap to me is, I mean, we make fucking hip hop. That's what we do. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like you said, there's just elements of, you know, pop culture, cartoons, wrestling, comic books, you know, and it's about wordplay. It's like I'm not rapping about these things. I just use them as references in the songs in my wordplay. You know what I mean? So, you know, listen, I'll trumpet nerd rap, you know, all day long because I mean, as you can see, I'm about toys and wrestling and comic books and you know all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, nerd rap is in my opinion. It's you're trying to make good hip-hop music, but using those, you know, references and whatnot, like you mentioned before.
Right. I mean, labels have always been they've been somewhat of a stigma with hip-hop, I think, to some degree. You know, you look at quote-unquote gangster rap and whatnot. I just, I don't know. I think you have something very different and very unique, and I understand there have been other artists that maybe flourish on that label, on that title, so... I enjoy your input with wrestling. I have to tell you, I love the way you work in title changes, getting my belt back. That's fantastic to me. I think that transcends the whole nerd rap thing. But
yeah, and listen, I appreciate that, and I completely agree. You don't necessarily need to collect Transformers or watch wrestling to enjoy my music. You know, you don't need to do those things. It's a bonus because you'll get more of the references that I'm making, but at the very heart of it, I'm a monster MC and Dust is a monster producer, and everybody on Cobra-La is very good at their craft. That's the, you know, when it all comes down to brass tacks, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's just a bonus if you happen to be into those things, you know?
Yeah,
Hold on. Can I carp in for a second?
Hit it off, man.
It's like what Nate was saying. It's like you said, okay, the wrestling aspect's what brought you in, and this is what we're trying to – and Nate said not Transformer, not G.I.Joe, but yet a guy like you can enjoy that. A guy, somebody over there can enjoy that. This guy likes the fact that we talk about this, or Nate does that, and we do this. But in the overall end, you're feeling everything in that, you know. And then when you're like, all right, I like this because of the wrestling aspect, but then he's like, oh man, when I was a kid, I had that Megatron joint.
Yep.
Right.
Or, you know, oh man, he just mentioned Cobra Commander. Oh wow, listen to that sample. That's from a movie that I saw in 1985 on VHS tape. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah.
It all comes together, and that's what the biggest gratification in this is, bringing people together and working on that angle. You know what I mean? You know, just bringing that in, that feeling.
I got to tell you, what I love the most about your work is when I listen to it the first time and I have to stop and go, wait a minute. Did he just say that, and rewind it, bring it back?
Exactly.
Son of a bitch, motherfucker, he just referenced that.
Well,
and I
you know, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you know, how many times, Nate, did I hit you up and say, yo, I had to Google that shit?
Right, exactly. That means I've done my job.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
People have to rewind it, or if you hear it 3 or 4 times, and on the 4th time you hear something that you didn't hear the first 3 times, then we're doing our job. You know what I mean? That's the fun of it. That's the art form of it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's easy to go fucking fuck bitches, pop bottles. I got dudes in the club that got guns. I mean, come on, man. How many times can you hear that? It's all, you know, it's that shit is recycled to me, man. It's you know, it's like I sent fucking Dust the other day for a track that I made a Fred J. Dukes reference, which is the Blob's real name from fucking X-Men, and I go.
Yes.
Fred J. Dukes.
That's badass, man.
Not only was there a Fred J. Dukes, but it was beforehand was a whole Bill Cosby,
right,
a little reference.
And you know, 12 people will get that, but you know what? Somebody's gonna say, "Dude, that was fucking dope when you fucking did that," and it's like, that's a you know, a notch on the belt, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing, man. You're not just pulling off the everyday, well-known facts and whatnot out of a comic. You're bringing up the hardcore factual information that real fans know about. That's cool. Totally respect that. Speaking of which, let's play a little bit. Let's bring up some Nathan Haskill. Get it off.
Chip off the old granite, inhabit the planet of the simians, blades of obsidian, send you to oblivion, smile of a crocodilian. The penalty is death if you caught in the forbidden zone. Underneath flesh is where you'll find my monkey bones. High relief stress inside these funky poems. Get it, any given Grundy. The undead's on the mic, run, come see. Come away with the victory, no plan B. Press your luck with me, it's all whammies. Cobra-La stampede, champ breed, top pedigree. It's official, I'm engaged to the mic. Check our registry, you're not winning, do like John Lennon, let it be. Unbreakable, rap supervillain, unmistakable. I'm one of Lex Luthor's children with balls like torpedoes in flight. An acolyte, the scars to prove that Magneto was right. Mumra raps beyond tight. My thunder is sword, sight beyond sight. My mic's beyond nice. I'm Mr. Freeze to my enemies. They be in, then on ice. In Flynn's playing Tron on off nights. And pardon me if I say poppycock.
All right. Now that everybody's gotten a little bit of a taste of it, if you haven't heard it before, there it is. Nate, when did you realize you wanted to become an MC? How did it happen? How old were you?
As early as I can remember, man. I remember when I was 7 or 8 years old, all I wanted for Christmas was a Run DMC sweater. You know what I mean? Okay, and maybe the G.I.Joe headquarters, but that's the whole other thing.
I wanted the sweater too. I had the headquarters, but I didn't have the sweater.
But you know, it's like my mom's got video of me at 7 or 8 years old, you know, reciting Fat Boys and pretending to spin around on the ground like I was breakdancing, and I was god awful at it. I was terrible.
Yo, I had a killer knee spin, son. The husky kid had a knee spin.
You know, and it's just, it's one of those things. It's like in the late 80s, you know, I mean, I'm a white kid from a beach city in LA, and you know, everybody loved hair metal and Motley Crue and Rat and, you know, and all that stuff. And, like, I just was never into it. I would rather listen to the Fat Boys and...
Well, hold up. Nobody likes Rat?
You know, that was just my thing. And I think my parents just thought it was a phase that I would grow out of, and it just never happened. You know what I mean? It's just, I've just loved hip hop since I could remember, and you know, I knew the words to NWA's "Fuck the Police" when I was 10. You know, I don't know if that's a good thing that my parents let me listen to that, but you know, it's just when I heard Cube and Ren and rap, I was just like, man, that is the words, man. That shit is just dope. I want to do that.
You know, I think what you just said hits home with a lot of white guys, white kids that grew up on the West Coast that had a heart, you know, a passion for hip hop, but they were out of place. You know, Dust, I believe you grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Jersey. You know, you
believe. You don't know?
I believe. For journalistic purposes, I'm putting it out there.
So you're Rolling Steel, the journalist.
That's right. Let me put on my V-neck sweater here.
That's a Bobby the Brain Heen. I am a broadcast journalist, Monsoon.
Yes, Rolling Steel, you are right. You are correct. I grew up in the Brooklyn area. Canarsie, East Flatbush area, and
but what I'm saying, you know what I mean, like,
yes. But the East Coast was way more progressive when it came to white dudes in hip hop.
Yeah, man. I mean,
it was earlier than the West Coast was by far.
We got 10-year-old Nathan Haskill out there, you know, with his Run DMC shirt and no laces in his Adidas shell tops, Superstars, and everybody else is rocking Cinderella and Quiet Riot. I mean, speak from that. Was it just difficult in school? I mean, what'd you go through?
No, because you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of my friends growing up. You know, half of them were white kids, and the other half were, you know, Hispanic kids or black kids or whatever. And by the time the early '90s hit, that's when all that G-funk, gangster rap, all that. So then it became cool. So then it was like all of a sudden everybody fucking loved hip hop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everybody had a pair of Walker-Wear shirts and a blunt in their fucking mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So then,
with a 555 soul hat.
Exactly. So then in the early 90s, it was like the fucking cool thing. So then all my friends who were into fucking hair metal in the early 80s, now all of a sudden we're fucking wearing Ben Davises and fucking white T-shirts, and we were all doing, you know, the fucking gangster rap thing. And then, you know, that was all through high school because that was from, you know, for me, it's like 93 to 98, whatever, you know. And then after high school, it's funny because now all of my white friends like country, and I'm over here fucking still fucking rapping. You know what I mean? It's like,
all right. So there you are. You know, you're knocking them down, you're banging it out, you're doing your thing. Who was your influence coming up on the West Coast? It wasn't Quiet Riot. Who's the one that made Nathan Haskill step up and say, God damn, I need to do that. I need to be there. Who?
As funny as it is, I mean, I loved all the gangster rap shit. I was, you know, into, you know, NWA and Dre and fucking DJ Quick and South Central Cartel and blah, 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 blah. But the minute that I heard fucking Wu 36 Chambers, it was a rap for me. And part of that reason is that the motherfuckers made comic references, and they were about kung fu shit, and they all had aliases, and, like, I'll never forget riding my bike and getting the tape and buying the tape strictly off of the cover, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I spent my hard-earned, you know, $9 from, you know, mowing lawns, and bought it, and I sat it in my room, and I fucking must have listened to it like 10 times, and my buddies even have the story now where they go, dude, Nate came to my house and walked in and went, you have to listen to this right now. These guys think they're fucking superheroes. And it's true. But see, that's the thing is that Wu does, I mean, I'm not at all putting myself on that level whatsoever, but it's the same idea. Like, they use comic references and shit, and then, you know, into their hood shit too, but, like, they're about wordplay, like Jizza and Inspector Deck. Those dudes are, like, phenomenal fucking MCs, you know what I'm saying? And I heard that, and then Cypress Hill, that was the other thing. Cypress Hill was, DJ Muggs is probably my favorite producer next to Dust, but when I
That's kind of you.
Shout out to Muggs.
When I heard, when I heard Black Sunday and, Temple of Boom was one of my favorite records, that's, I was like, I want to do this. I just didn't have the means because none of my friends did it. So it's like, I didn't have anybody that I could rap with. I didn't have anybody that wanted to do music. The computer shit wasn't really popping yet. And it's like I didn't make my first record till I was like fucking 28 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's that's crazy, man. And that's the story that I think a lot of the kids out there today, I say kids, the next generation is looking at. They're looking at you and how you do it. So,
well, you know what? Nowadays these kids are fucking 12 years old and they got their mixtape.
Right.
Yo, check me out. It's fire, son.
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly. You want to know why? Look, just not to go off on a tangent, but...
Oh, here comes a tangent. Dun, dun, dun.
This is what really pisses me off, is that people have dumbed down hip-hop so much that it looks easy. And it's like, when I was young and I would listen to dudes on the radio, I would be like, wow, fucking, that's, awesome. Now, you listen to the radio, and it's like, I could fucking do that. You know what I mean? It's like I don't watch Kobe Bryant shoot jump shots and then think, yeah, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But like hip hop is so dumbed down now and so the same that everybody just think they could just be a rapper, and it's like,
well, you got these bedroom producers, people recording their rhymes on their iPhone.
Right.
And making beats on their iPhone, it's just generic, man. It's becoming disposable. It has been disposable for a long time, but now it's beyond disposable.
It's like I hear some of these dudes shit, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? You know what I mean? Like you fucking wrote that down, like for real?
Nope, they didn't write it down. They texted it into their phone.
Right, but that's the other thing too. It's like on Instagram, dudes will fucking. I mean, you see me like calling them out and shit when dudes troll my page, and they'll be like, "Hey, check out my, it's fire, blah blah blah." And then like,
everything's fire. It's fire.
And then it's like you go on these dudes' Instagram pages, and then their little bio it says rapper, but you've got to scroll 900 pictures before you even see him making any music. It's like, oh yeah, you're an artist, but you don't have any music.
No, it's funny because Dustin and I both grew up in the era. We got to see the beginning. We got to see what I think I consider the golden age in the early 90s.
Yes.
That
was it.
And I remember starting to see the decline. The homemade beats, the repetitious over and over bullshit lyrics, cash money. Sorry, but it's got to be said.
Well, you know what? A lot of people could say from the new, it's oh, you old motherfuckers, and like us growing up would be like, oh wow, my dad's in the car listening to Elvis. Ugh. You know what? Our hip hop is his Elvis. It's just that our hip hop is living longer than what they had. You get what I'm saying? Rock and roll was new. It was new. It lasted this long, and then it evolved. Hip hop evolved to a point, but now is regressing.
Right, because it used to be like this. There was a West Coast sound, there was an East Coast sound, there was a South sound, there was a Midwest sound, and it's all the same type of music, but there's different sounds. So you could hear something and go, oh, that's West Coast, or that's South, or that's whatever. It's like there's no other type of music genre that's like that. It's like country is fucking country, whether you're making it in New York or Tennessee. I mean,
unless Nelly's on the record.
Yeah, exactly. But now hip hop, the problem is that fucking everybody wants that trap South sound. So now you can't tell where the records are coming from at all. Everyone's lost their identity.
And I think maybe Steele could understand this. Like I think it was maybe like 90. I don't know, 90. I'm thinking 91 maybe. We're watching TV and then there's a tampon commercial, and there's.
Right.
There's a fucking substitution breakbeat behind it in the commercial with these little horns coming in, and I'm like,
well,
really?
When you hear Apache on like a deodorant commercial, it kind of
exactly. It's like this is what I'm saying. I'm like, and then we looked at each other like, yeah, it's done. And that's where it just started. It just started declining from there. And like nowadays, it's like going to the mall into Hot Topic, you know?
Right.
That's hip hop. You know what I mean? That's it, you know? And it's great. I see some things coming back to the old, a couple of styles, and musically a little bit. They're using a little bit more of the old stuff. But, you know, I don't want to be that one guy on the stoop. You crazy kids, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy, you know. You and your,
you know, you say that, but then I've listened to a lot of your other material, and I listen to what you guys are doing now, and there's no classification. I mean, what you're making now is off the hook. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Talk about your influences, you know, through the different eras. I know you've had a couple of different eras, mindsets, and whatnot. Tell us what goes through your head. Where the fuck do you come up with this material?
You talking to me or Dust?
Oh, I'm talking to Dust, baby. I want to talk about the music.
All right. Well, you know, I'm not going to take too much time here saying this, but, you know, I started making beats in the late 80s, progressed through the 90s and whatnot. So I went through all that bullshit before the internet, and you could go to YouTube,
right,
find out what James Brown is. You know, I had neighbors in my area. I had friends in the area. We all had the same interests. We all found records in the garbage. We started digging in thrift shops, record stores, going from Brooklyn to Manhattan, digging. You find one thing, oh, it's dope. I like how this sounds, and you find something, oh, this has the same drummer from that last record.
Go down the rabbit hole.
Yep, exactly, man. And you jump through. And this is, like I said, before the internet. Now you could just punch something into YouTube. You're a fucking bedroom producer. You're recording off YouTube. You're looping shit, and all of a sudden, hey, I spit hot fire.
Right.
Well, you know what? That's not how. And I, like, again, I'm the old guy saying wah, but you know, there's an art to it. And I evolved through my years between vinyl. Not doing vinyl anymore, doing internet digging, MP3 digging as they call it, trading on sites. I have this album ripped that I paid $100 for. I'll send it to you if you send me these two albums that I want. And we went through that phase. That was like the early 2000s to mid-2000s when the internet was big. You know, and that's when you get into the European stuff. You know, just for me looking for samples, you know, and then your prog rock and all that other stuff. So, I
get beats from Dust. Dust will send me shit, and like I'll be like, "Oh, this is dope," and then the hook will come in, and it's in a different fucking language.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, "Wow, okay." Like, I can't even begin to like figure out where, like, how do you even start to find that? And it's you know, it's
well, that's usually like, yo, wait it out. Just listen to it, wait it out. I think this is something that we, you know, and there's a couple of tracks that we've done that we've let the chorus run out in a different language, and I'm sure people listen to the song like, what the fuck? What's going on? But yeah, that shit's dope, you know.
I remember back in the day, people would be at Fat Beats. You'd be digging in crates. When people started digging in crates, you were in libraries pulling out other things in different languages and translations of like Superman and Sesame Street in French.
Yes.
So it's pretty amazing what you've been able, I don't want to say revolutionize, but it's different. I mean,
the game was big, man. There's a lot of players in the game, and like when you say what's my influences production-wise, I mean, we could go back to Rick Rubin, we could go back to Marley Marl, we could go back to, of course, Pete Rock, Large Professor, DJ Premier, you know, all the staples. Of course, there's the staples, but this music scene nowadays is just fucking god-awful, man. I just can't do it. I just can't do it, man. And the funny thing is, like, I stopped making music in, 2008, 2009. And I made a couple of things for myself, but when hooking up with Nate, he kind of just brought me back. Mm-hmm. Right. Made me want to do music again. And, you know, it got to the point where I was just done because I didn't want to do music about hoes this, my girl this, drugs. You know, I'm not a player. I don't sell drugs. I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? There's nothing that you could say that's going to make me say, ooh, I'm into this. You know, I went through the whole Illuminati shit, all that. You know, we're doing some new shit, or it's going to be some backpack shit. We're talking about this, we're talking about that, graffiti, blah, blah, blah. Been there, done that. And I was just like, you know, I'm done, man. I'm just going to make music for myself, bump it, enjoy it. And then Nate kind of...
what was it? What did you find? What did you hear? What specifically was it that actually sparked your interest about Nate that made you say, wow, this guy's got it?
All right, this will go back to the whole beginning of the Cold Slither joint, you know. Nate, you want to take on this one? Because I know we've talked about this a couple of times before, and I think your side of the story's way better.
So Dust and I became friends on Instagram through the Decepticon Clique, which is, you know, a Transformers collector club.
Part of R.O.C.?
Yes, part of R.O.C. Exactly, Roma Collectors, shout out. And it's funny because we were friends on that tip, and not even about music at all. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know if he had seen me post up any of my music stuff or whatever, but he wasn't biting if he had. And then one day he put up.
Well, I don't want to interject here, guys, but what I just said earlier would tell you why I wasn't so so proactive, because I was just so tired of the same rah. You know, right. I do this, I do that. Yeah, okay, you heard me, you like it. Okay, I'm just letting it die, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So then one day he posts up a beat from his YouTube channel, and it was his logo, you know, and it was dope. And like, I hit him up and I was like, yo, you do beats? You know what I mean? Like, as stupid as that sounds now, because I didn't know who he was back in the day or is, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
And he hit me back and he was like, yeah, you know, I do a couple things, you know, blah, blah. So we kind of fucking danced around each other for a little bit. And he sent me a beat. It was Fearsome Axe.
Yeah, Fearsome Axe. That was, I called that beat Liquid Therapy.
Yeah. So
I think that beat was from 2007.
Right. So he sends it to me, and within like a day, I hit him back with verse on it. And he was like, yo, that was fresh. I dropped my fucking sample on it, you know, all that. I did the normal thing that I do. And he was like, yo, that was fresh. And I was like, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And I was like, let me know if you have anything else. So then like a week later, like he sends me a couple more beats and I'm like, dude, this is dope. And now keep in mind, this was at a time that I had just finished my second record. And
what record was that?
What If the Villains Won?
So if everybody don't know out there, What If the Villains Won?
What If the Villains Won? That was my second record. And I was really sick of searching the internet for beats. And it's like he said, you go on these beat websites and you lease this one for $5. You lease this one for $10.
Right. 6 beats for $5.
Exactly. And most of it sounds like garbage. So you've really got to sift around to find anything of quality. Or, you know, on What If the Villains Won, you know, I would go on iTunes and I would type in, you know, hip hop instrumentals, and a lot of times I would find instrumentals and would never listen to the original because it would fuck me up. You know what I mean? The minute you listen to the original, you know, the minute you listen to the original, then all of a sudden your hook sounds like that and shit. So like to this day, there's beats on What If the Villains Won that I rapped over that aren't my beats, that I have no idea what the original sounds like. You know what I mean? And so I was getting kind of frustrated, and I'm like, fuck, because I don't want to use other people's beats anymore. I need to find somebody to do music with. And then so, you know, Dust sent me a couple things, and then, you know, it turned into, hey, maybe we should do a couple song EP together. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Then we did a couple tracks, and then one day I got a fucking email with like fucking 35 fucking instrumentals from him. Like, and then next day I got another one with like 35 instrumentals, and I was just, it was, you know what it was, dude? I was fucking Indiana Jones grabbing that fucking gold fucking thing and running out the fucking with the boulder behind me. I was like, this this is gold.
Yeah, I better grab this before he wants him back.
Fucking throw me the idol, I'll throw you the whip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like when we first started, we did Fearsome Acts, and like I enjoyed it. I'm like, all right, I dig this. I really like the way this is going. This is something that I'm kind of interested in. You know, I can see where he's going with this. And then when we did the next joint, and you sent it back, and I'm like, all right, I kind of really enjoy this. And I'm not the type of guy that likes to sit back and listen to MCs on his own beat. I'm just like, I did it, there it is, blah, blah, blah. You know, I just don't like to be that guy to gloat in that. And then we did something else, and I'm like, yeah, all right, let's maybe we'll work on like an EP. And you're like, yeah. And I sent you all the beats. I was like, all right, let me just drop everything. And keep in mind, a lot of the stuff was some of the stuff prior to when I stopped making music. So it was a lot of stuff from the mid to almost late 2000s. You know, 2005 to 2008 in that era. And then he sent more stuff back, and then like, you know, I started seeing some stuff, and I started making new music. So at the time where he's sending me stuff from the old stuff, I started getting back into the game, and I started doing my thing and sending him stuff, and he's doing, you know, giving me roughs over this and sparking me to do other stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is something here. And then I said, let's do an LP, and that's when we're like, all right, what are we going to do? And I think I hit you up. I said, let's, you know, you're a G.I. Joe guy. I'm a G.I. Joe guy. We're talking about, you know, toys and the whole geek shit. Remember that episode? I think I said, remember the episode of G.I. Joe when Cobra Commander had the dreadnoughts and had them do the he was like, of course. Of course. I'm like, Cold Slither, man. He's like, that's it. Cold's fucking Slither, man. And that's how Cold Slither started, right there.
And it took off, and it had a pretty solid following, and it's growing. Did you guys expect that, or did you just...
Well, you know what? When we were doing the record, you know, like, I mean, I was sending you stuff, you were sending me stuff, we had ideas, we kicked it back and forth, the synergy was there, and like, you could say, it was all through Instagram, text messaging.
All right, let me stop you there, because what I wanted to ask Nick, how the fuck does this work? I mean, he's 3 hours away. I mean, you know,
I wasn't hopping into the private jet going to Los Angeles.
Yeah, you know, the teleporter's not on. Scotty's not manning the helm. How do you guys do this?
And it wasn't 1991 where I'm like Pete Rock status saying, yeah, fly me out. We'll get into the studio. And that's what's one thing about now in our age with the technical stuff, we could just shoot it in an email or whatnot.
And to be honest, Dust and I never even talked on the phone until the record was
done. Yep. It was, you know,
20-song album and never talked on the phone.
And it was like what, almost a year and a half.
Yeah,
year and a half, almost 2 years, and it's like, when it was done, the artwork, the track listing, we were done with the mix. We were happy. And this, like I said, through Instagram, Kick Messenger, and email, and just texting, we just did not talk. And they're like, I don't know what it was, man. It just seemed like when I would hit them up and we would talk about something, we were just on the same vibe that we didn't have to go any further than that. You know, Nate, I don't think that. You're absolutely right. I agree. Boom. Yo, Dust, yeah, I'll change it up. I'll send you the new version tonight. It was sent. It was done. Brought back. Had it mixed. The artwork was there. Nate went with the whole Cold Slither album, the artwork, and Jacob's art, right? Was it Jacob?
No, actually, that wasn't Matt Jacobs.
That wasn't.
No, Cold Slither was the last one that we did before I met Matt. I didn't even know Matt yet. That was an artist from a website, 8-Bit Zombie. They sell T-shirts and shit. So I hit up 8-Bit Zombie on Instagram and was like, hey, like, do you think any of your artists would be into fucking, you know, doing a commission for me, yada yada yada? And so the dude hit me back and he was like, well, we've got these 3 guys and they're really busy, but here, this guy, I think his name was Chad Monzo. this guy.
Yeah, it was Chad. Yeah. That's it. That rings a bell.
So I hit him up, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in, I want to commission you to make an art piece. And he was like, okay. So then I kind of explained him what we were about, and I sent him some tracks, and he was like, fucking absolutely. So,
awesome.
I remember getting that text message. Yo, Dust, we're working on the album cover. Any type of hero/villain. What do you want your persona to look for? Give me 4 or 5 different. So I was like, all right. I'm trying to think. I'm like, Thanos, because I'm a big guy. Thanos. It was Thanos. A little bit Onslaught. I think I said Onslaught.
Well, your helmet on that cover is very
Van Vader. Yeah, because you know what? I was watching some YouTube videos of old Japan wrestling.
Yeah.
Van Vader came out. I said, I want that Van Vader helmet with kind of like an Onslaught type, big, bulky. But I said the one thing I want was in my one arm to be a saw blade of a record as a saw blade, because what I do, making my music, I take samples, I chop them, cut it up. Hence, kind of homage to the old Jigsaw monitor,
right.
as being my old name, Jigsaw, producer name. So I wanted that, cutting wheel to be a record. And wow, he killed it with Nate being with the beard. Oh man, killed it, absolutely killed it.
Yep. And then and then after the album was finished, I think like it was like. Maybe the day before or the day after we dropped it, I fucking randomly called him.
Yeah.
Hey, and
I'm sitting in the recliner, and I'm like looking down. I'm like, Nathan Haskill, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
I'm not a big phone guy, so I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta pick this shit up.
I think the first thing Dust said when I called was, well, you've ruined it. We've talked now, so now our fucking group is going right down the drain.
Yeah, there's a synergy. It just drained out. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's ever going to come out of this again.
I remember being here one day with Dust, and he's, at the keyboard. He's working something. He's pulling up music. He's showing me some of your work. And I said, this is really unique. It's different. It's cool, Do you talk to him often? And he stops and he looks at me and goes, no, I don't want to ruin it. I thought that was just, fantastic. And I never realized how long that really went on for like that. So that's a testament to the, the relationship you have creatively.
It worked. It really did work, man. Yeah, especially with the fact that, I was peddling old music. It wasn't like peddling old music. It was like Nate had that love for that sound. Would me and Nate bond or collaborate back then? I don't know. But at this time, it was. I pitched a lot of those beats off Cold Slither to a lot of people, and a lot of people just didn't want it. They weren't ready. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of things that I don't think were finished, or I didn't like at the time that he picked up, and then there was a lot of new stuff in there.
Sure, let me stop you there because you're never happy.
No. I mean, come on. I'm not happy with anything. I'm not happy with anything that I ever fucking do. And everybody knows that. Everything is half-assed. As much as I think it's polished and it's finished, it's half-assed. And then people just love it. And that's great. I love the fact that people enjoy the music. But, Nate took it, it made it his own. And he's like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I always liked. And I'm like, for instance, Hail Hydra. And I know we talked about this 100 times. Hail Hydra, when I sold my hardware in 2000, a buddy put me onto Acid Pro, and I started using Acid Pro on my 1999 computer, which Rolling Steel bought me as a wedding gift back in the day.
Wow.
It had probably like maybe 156K RAM or whatever the fuck it did. It was really bad. It sputtered. It was good in 99, but 2001 was pushing it. So I installed this program. He said Acid Pro, and I put it in there, and he's like, yeah, you could do this. It was a loop-based program, but I tricked it where you could take drum hits and lay it out in a grid and kind of do exactly what I did on my hardware, but it's on software. So it's all brand new to me. So I would sample, chop, blah, 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 do whatever. And I remember I did this about a month-long session of beats and I saved them for some reason, and I had a CD.
You didn't like them.
I didn't like any of them, bro. You know, I don't like any of that shit.
Never does.
It was me experimenting, trying to learn the program, and I said, and I hit him up one night. Yo, you know what's funny? I'm going through all my old hard drives. I found this folder. I called it Acid Wash. You know, Acid Wash Genes, because the program was called Acid. So it's called Acid Wash. I'm like, yo, I'm going to send it to you. It's just a bunch of shit when I went from hardware to software, learning this PC shit. It's nothing good. Well, 2 days later, he sends me Hail Hydra. And honestly, that's one of the most. If I only have a couple of tracks on YouTube, but that's one of the many most viewed tracks that I have on there, and everybody kind of draws to Hail Hydra. I don't know, maybe it's the simple beat and the simple bass line, and Nate draws you in with his lyrics. You know, it just works out well. And then when he threw that Captain America shit on there, it just even got better. And this makes me go into say, like, all our vocal samples, beginning and outro samples from TV, comics, whatever, movies. You know, Nate is really one of the guys that he's really on point with that. He's the one that puts it to me. We go back and forth. I don't like this. I like this. I bring him something. He brings us something, and it works. It just works out so fucking well.
It's funny. It's Hail Hydra wasn't even going to be on Cold Slither.
No, that was just some freestyle shit.
Like, the album was done.
Yeah.
And we were working on the next shit. Like, we were just like, and then, you know, and Captain America 2 hadn't come out yet, and then it dropped, and then, like, I remember when I sent Hail Hydra back to Dust was like, "You fucking liked that beat?" Yeah. Are you fucking listen to this?
That's when I was like, yo, I gotta find some new guy to work with. I'm like, really, you like that? And he sent it to me, and I listened to it the next day. I sent him a text. We got to put it on Cold Slither.
Mm-hmm.
We got to put it on. This is the time. You know, Captain America was big. The shit was going. We got to get it on there. You know, we got to get it on there. And he's like, okay, and it went on there. And that's how shit works, man. That's how shit works.
And it's funny because it's like I was like, one of my favorite lines on my favorite line on Hail Hydra, which is dumb, is where I drop the beat out and I whisper, and I whisper in your ear, Hail Hydra, and you should have seen me at my fucking spot trying to whisper into the microphone. I must have done 20 different whispers to make it fucking work. Like how it was.
But you know what? That's the shit everybody likes, man. Hail Hydra. Everyone loves that joy. And then the beat comes in.
Yeah.
It's so simple, and it, you know, and this goes back to like early days of hip hop, when you don't have to be bells and whistles and da 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 doing the show and whatnot. Right. That's all you need. All you need is that simple shit, and it works. It works.
That's kind of the thing that sucks about me personally, I think. Modern day hip hop, there's no more real digging in the crates per se. There's so much technology. Everything is at your fingertips if you can use it creatively. Nate, I can tell you a story, and Dust will probably throw shit at me for this, but I remember like a 15-year-old Dust, and there it goes, using his sister's Fisher-Price turntables to create something that he had in mind, and I would watch him in the projects feverishly trying to make this happen.
Got to say the projects because it's cool.
Well, yeah, man, keeping it real for you, I mean, but you were legitimate. You had passion. You came up. You did your thing. You're not like these kids nowadays that have all this technology and all the equipment.
It was a different time,
that's
man.
Why everybody thinks it's easy.
Yep.
It's like
it was a different time then. It was new. Nobody was digging into records back then. Everybody was playing guitars. And using a fucking MP60 drum track or TR-808 drum track, and they had and come in and they had live musicians in there doing shit. You think UTFO albums were sampled? Nah, it was one guy with drum tracks, and it was a Run DMC, Rock Box. It was all live musicians.
Classic, yep.
So when the sampling game came in, and we could thank, Chuck D, Public Enemy, all that era, KRS-One, even Rick Rubin started that shit with the Beastie Boys. That's all the shit we could thank for that. You get what I'm saying? That's when sampling really started getting big. I didn't know who the fuck it was, and this is a good story because I'm sitting there listening to Jungle Brothers because they got it like that. What was it, 89, 88, whatever the fuck it was?
Yeah.
87.
Maybe 87, actually.
87. Nobody Google it. My mom came in and said, that's Sly and... Why are you listening to Sly and Family Stone? You got my records? I'm like, nah. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, and I played it for her, and she brought me in, and she showed me her records, and Sly and the Family Stone. Boom, 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 boom. There was the drum break, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's so fucking awesome. That's such a great story.
Yeah, bro, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you kidding me? And this is like, it's got to be 87, 88, whatever. And then that's when I started getting into like records and knowing stuff. And she's like, yeah, here they are. Vanilla Fudge, Isaac Hayes. There was all this shit in there, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I never knew this existed. But as I got into it, it was being created.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like, as it was created, I got into it, and I just went with it. And
the golden era. Today, if we sparked up the R.O.C. time machine, and I'm going to ask this question to you both, who do you see you guys working with, yourselves working with, collaborating with, if you had your choice? Anyone else from today to the past? You know what? Anybody. Go ahead, Nate. You first.
Well, it's funny because dudes I'm going to name, Dust has fucking known and worked with. Listen,
I don't know anybody.
Listen, man. Like I said earlier, this Muggs, DJ Muggs is, I would love to work with that dude. Aesop Rock, LP, Vast Air. I really like Mad Child from Swollen Members. It's underground. You know what I mean? Wordsmiths. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the dudes that get me going. You know what I mean? And just like, when Dust hears beats from people and he's like, fuck, that's that beat. You know what I mean? It's the same thing when I hear verses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like I'll hear verses from dudes and I'll be with a buddy of mine and I'll be like, did you fucking catch what he just said? And they're like, no. You know what I mean? Because people are, intrigued by the beat more than not. And like I'll listen to Inspector Deck or Esoteric or whatever, and like they'll say shit and I'll be like, fuck, that was really, really, really fucking clever. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, why didn't I think of that? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yo, I gotta say, Nate's wordplay is, I tell everybody, I say, listen to the wordplay, man. It's advanced, man. It's advanced. And he lets you know. When he does something that's like, boom, he'll repeat it. You see what I did there? Dot. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give any lyrics away from what we're working on now, but, there's one fly in my soup.
Go ahead.
Stephen King, Clown Factor, something. Yeah, just makes you know. He's like, wow, holy shit,
Well, that's the cool thing, in listening to the work, you don't listen to it and say, oh yeah, that's an East Coast track or that's a West Coast track. I mean, musically, it's all over the place. It's completely different. And even, Nate, with your rhymes, you have I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a twang. I wouldn't say it's an accent. It's just completely different. I had to ask Dust at first, like, where the fuck is he from? Where is this guy from? And I like that. I like that it's unique and it's not labeled. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's funny. It's like when I do my, buy the shirt promos or whatever, it's my coworkers sometimes bust my balls. Yes, I do have a full-time regular job because rap does not pay the bills. Not yet. For all you kids out there, not yet. But
You know, they always bust my balls and I say Cobra-La records. You know what I mean? Or lasers. But it just, I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. You know what I mean? And I think the best friend of good MCs is their cadence. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, dudes will hit me up and they'll be like, hey dude, I want to start rapping or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, listen, I can give you two things of advice. I can say, listen, you got to practice, because I didn't write to a beat. I've been writing since I was like 17, and I didn't write to a beat until I was like, you know, fucking 23.
Wow.
I didn't record shit until I was 28. You know what I mean? I would just literally write to write. You know what I mean? And would just do shit a cappella or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's your cadence. It's you don't want to sound like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's when people, like when you hear dudes, like when I get on a verse, especially with other MCs, my sole fucking goal is for you to go, this was a dope track, but that dude right there, he stood out.
Right.
I see what he did there.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. Like that guy, he was different. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that's what I try to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You know, and it's like I tell everybody, I'm like, you know, I'll send him some tracks. I'm like, this is the new guy I'm working with, and I'm like, you know what? He's kind of got the LA shit. It's a little slower, a little twang type shit, but listen to it and get through it. And once you hear one track, you're in. And then like a lot of people are like, wow, holy shit, send me a. No, I ain't sending you shit. Go to his Bandcamp page, click the link. You know what I mean?
All right, let me stop you right there. Let's play something right now so anybody joining in can get a taste of it. Nathan Haskill.
Coach Slither.
Sitting here, having a beer and a shot. Seems like I've been here a lot. Seems like I'll never make it to the top. So I'm bellied up to the bar, and I'm setting up shop. This feels like 80s Vegas. Not even God can save us with bad behaviors. We waking the neighbors, but we loving the danger. Haskill and Dustmightz, perfect strangers. Larry and Balky wanna know a few things about me. I'm an MC, pothead, and alky. And if I quit hip-hop, would do just fine without me. Man at the right door with the wrong key. If you're waiting on me, then you're backing up. South Bay talk shit, back it up. Dig deep, I'm fathomed up. Hard to be humble when these motherfuckers who wanna rumble is whack as fuck. I quit drinking unless you're buying. Ship is sinking, throw a line in. As a matter of fact, throw a line in. It's hard out here, gotta keep grinding.
Oh, and just to make it more interesting.
Welcome to the Cobra Luncheon, where me and my soldiers have reptile dysfunction. Proud python, fucking patriots, and I ain't talking Giselle Bundchen. Raise hell, we a Union Jack, and I ain't talking about London. Rip the mic like Hogan, brother. Let me tell you something, we a team up to no good, full of blue hoods and snake capes, eye patches, ninjas laying weight, and metal face plates. I'm the master of disguise. Magician of lies that can change face. MCs get laid to waste. The snake mandate has been in place since Cobra-La was established in 98. Through my veins I can feel the hate. Welcome to the Terradrome real estate. Pyramid of darkness. Weather dominator, master vice. In any series of Survivor, I'm a MacGyver mixed with Denzel from Man on Fire. Slowly pull you close and crystal clear, whisper in your ear. Hail Hydra. I'm a live wire sizzling in the street, riddling speech. You chimney sweeps are on roofs fiddling over beats. A god amongst geeks, my roadshow is antique.
All right, so you just got a taste. In case you're just joining in, we've got Dustmightz, Nathan Haskill, Cobra-La Records. I think it's time for a cheap plug promo. Nate, hit it off. Tell them where they can get the good stuff.
You can go to my Bandcamp, nathanhaskill.bandcamp.com, soundcloud.com/Nathan-Haskill. Just fucking Google it. I'm on Google now apparently. I Googled my name the other day for the first time, and a bunch of shit came up, so that was cool.
I Googled my name. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
A bunch of pictures of me came up.
I'm going to fucking I'm burying myself. I'm changing my name to Mud.
So, we
got T-shirts, CDs, merchandise, all that kind of shit. You can email me directly, nathanhaskill@gmail.com, or on IG or, anywhere. Pretty much, I'm not hard to find. Throw a smoke signal up there, I'll fucking send you.
Well, now we went from Cold Slither. Let's segue into See What I Did There.
Yes.
Which is, Nathan Haskill's next solo album. And when he asked me to work on it with him, I was like, all right. So we're going to break off and do something different. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, in the Cobra-La camp with me, Nate, and all the fam, we're 2 albums ahead of everybody. You know what I mean? What you hear now is going to, we're already done with something else and something else.
Got that much material that you guys have already planned, or are you talking about that's complete?
And that's the one fucking thing is that we're cranking shit out so fucking fast and we're bouncing it back off each other. I'm like, we're all like, yeah, put it on. Oh, it's going to be a 35-song record.
Right.
Do we really want to do 35 songs on this record? Okay, maybe we could kick some back. We take the next album in the next direction. Yeah, something that we used 2 albums ago maybe might fit for that didn't fit for there.
Right.
But, we're always bouncing shit off from one another. And this goes to all the members in Cobra-La. Like, we're
Talk about it. Let's hear it.
I want to just segue into See What I Did There.
Mm-hmm.
Give
us a piece, a taste, a sliver, a slice.
No, you fucking buy the fucking album. We're not here giving fucking. What is it? Your fucking cheese line? You want a fucking pound of cheese? Eat my ass. No. But
you cannot purchase the album with stamps, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. But what I'm just saying was like, when we were doing Cold Slither was done. Me and Nate got off the phone. The second guy we got off the phone.
Right.
He got an email with 5 new tracks for a new album.
Mm-hmm.
Even before that, we were talking about, okay, this didn't make Cold Slither, but will it make the new record? Okay, maybe if we adapt this, change this, blah, 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 this, there it is. A loop segment that was going to be a skit. Add something to the skit. I add something to the skit. It's a new fucking song.
Right.
Nate listened to something. He goes through digging in the Dustmightz crates that I sent him. Yo, blah, 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 from 06 or 07, 08. All right, you want to do something on that? Okay, he sends it to me. It's done. This is what it is. This is random nonsense. I get up, 5:30 in the morning. I roll over. I look at my phone. There's 3 emails. Being that Nate's 3 hours ahead of me, or behind me. All right, Nate send. All right, a download. Hit play. Oh man, you fucking used that? Whoa, wait a minute. Oh man, that worked. Rewind. All right, that's gonna work. That's what it is, and that's how we make music.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. And Cold Slither is Dust and I. So every track that you hear on Cold Slither is me and Dust. That's right. Dust is doing the beats, I'm doing the MCing, unless there's a feature or whatever. So when I did See What I Did There, I wanted to do another record, but I didn't necessarily, I wanted to branch out a little bit, and then we added a couple, people to the camp, like MIDIchlorian, who I met through Dust, who is another phenomenal producer that is, part of the camp. And he started sending me tracks after he heard, Game of Poems or whatever. And
we're gonna get back on Game of Poems. all of a sudden, this hour interview is like 4 hours long.
So see what I did there. Dust still produced predominantly the most track. He produced like 8 tracks on the album. MIDI produced like 6 or something tracks, and I had a couple others from some other people that I had made some contacts with or whatever. So when my album is Nathan Haskill, it's me and mostly Dust and MIDI, but there's going to be a couple sprinkled producers in there. You know what I mean?
It's a different vibe, man. It's a totally different vibe.
Exactly. And when we do Cold Slither, it's Dust and I again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people shouldn't be confused with the two. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why our album isn't called Nathan Haskill and Dustmightz.
Yeah.
It's Cold fucking Slither. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
And I feel really blessed that he even has that many tracks on his own solo album from me. It could have been 2 tracks from me and everybody else.
Right.
And big shout to MIDI, man, because MIDI's been killing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even want to talk about future shit, but, you know, Sith Lord's in the fucking house.
Tell us more. Who's coming? Who's up next? When's the next push?
For our Cold Slither 2 is coming out in August. So that's going to be, and like I said, it's predominantly Dust and I, but, you know, we got Otis Roycroft is on 3 tracks on the album, and he is, you know, the newest member of the camp, and the dude is a monster. Him and I have amazing chemistry together.
Yo, Otis is dope, man. He's got that wrestling shit locked, man.
Yes.
But Otis is, you guys are killing it together.
Just like, you know, Dust and MIDI, I've now started to produce tracks together, and they've got phenomenal chemistry. You know what I mean? So, you know, after Cold Slither, we're going to do a record, you know, called The Four Horsemen, which is going to be, you know, Dust and MIDI and Otis and I. And we got Conphusion. Conphusion's going to have his sophomore record coming up.
Nice. Excellent.
Soon, you know. And Jay is another dude that is dope. He's been down since day one. I kind of executive produce a lot of his stuff. You know, I put samples on there, kind of like, you know what I mean? And Jay's going to come strong with his...
Does he have a name for the album?
I don't think he has a name for the album yet. There's a couple of tentative things that I can tell you later, but...
No, we're not going to talk about it.
I don't think he has a name for the record yet. And one thing just real quick about Otis... Him and I, again, met through Instagram, where I seem to be fucking everybody. You know what I mean? A buddy of mine that I know threw up a picture of his, you know, record, and then I checked it out, and then, you know, we ended up talking or whatever, and, you know, he's really big into wrestling, as am I. And so we started chopping it up, and it's funny. It's like, this is the first time I've ever been with another MC that lives where I live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so all the dudes that I fuck with, like, you know, Conphusion or Rated R or B Done, or all the dudes in the camp, it's all through email. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get that.
You get the MP3, you drop it, you drag it, you link it, you sync it, and it's done.
Exactly. So you don't get that. I call Otis and I'm like, you know, what are you doing this week? And he's like, oh, you know, I got this day and this day free. So he's like, okay, cool. And then he comes over and we fucking hang out and make music. So, like, Otis and I already have, you know, not to, you know, reveal some future, I mean, with some horseman shit, but, like, we've already got, like, 5 or 6 tracks done for the next record. Because,
like I said, we're 3 steps ahead, son.
Because it's fun to work together. You know what I mean? Like, he comes over and all of a sudden we just do music. You know what I mean? And it's refreshing to be able to do it together. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole old school vibe about it. You know, you're not just sending shit through email. You're actually in the studio, in your area. You're working together, vibing off. I didn't like this, but I like that. He said something that makes you go back and rewrite something, and then you come harder on that shit. You know, and that's what hip hop's about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool. You guys have already booked the Great American Bash, so to speak, for the next.
Oh yeah, We're way ahead. We're ahead.
Hey, we're the WWF in like '89. There's only like 4 pay-per-views a year.
You know, I mean, Cold Slither 3 is starting soon.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next album name. Starting soon. You know, and then the one thing about what us is that we always like to leak, tease. We'll do a simple track of a minute and 30 with a verse and a chorus, just to keep people.
Yeah, promos.
Yeah. Keep them in here, like get the line going, bring them in. You know, say, hey, we're still here, we're still doing it, and it's getting better. And you know, it really is getting better. I'm
telling you, not to toot our own horns, but I mean, nobody's working harder than us, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like. I know dudes that are rappers, you know, in fucking air quotes, that I've known for a year and a half don't even have an album out. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're dropping 2-3 records a year. like 20 songs each. You know what I'm saying? Like
honestly, yeah. We just keep pumping it out.
Bananas, you know what I mean? And
I mean, and it's easy that we could say like, okay, let's do this and wait this. We don't want to wait. We want to get it out there.
And it's quality too. You can put out 1,000 garbage fucking songs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but what we put out is fucking quality. And the only gripe that I get from people is they'll say, oh, well, it takes 20 seconds to get to the actual music or the rapping because it's got fucking movie samples or cartoon samples, and there's no hooks. It's fucking Omar from The Wire talking for fucking 12 seconds and then the fucking song. And to them, I just go, well, then it's not for you.
Yep.
Like, if you
can't get it, it's not for you.
If you don't get it, if you don't see what we're doing, like, if you want cookie cutter hip hop where somebody says fucking Rack City bitch 600 fucking times in a song, well, then don't listen to my shit for real. Like, it's really kind of high. You know what I mean?
Do you see anybody?
Like our albums, real quick. Our albums, like, to me, is like, if there's 20 songs in an album, it's the trailers before a movie.
Right.
You're watching 20 movie trailers. You know what I'm saying? Like, our albums are meant to be listened to in fucking order.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can skip around and all good, man. That's all good. But, like, when we make the album, we're not trying to make 20 singles.
Yes.
Right.
We're trying to make a dope fucking album.
It flows. The synergy is there. You have to go from 1, 1, 1, 1.
And we reposition songs and we do that to where it flows properly. You know what I mean? Like a lot goes into that. And
we'll change intros. We'll change outros. We'll change beats.
Yeah.
We'll fucking totally redo a fucking beat just so it flows better.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that, you know. He'll send me a track list. All right, this is a potential track list for Cold Slither 2. I'll listen to it. I'll bump it. I don't like this. Why don't we change this? It just didn't flow good. I don't like the way this outro goes into this intro. All right, we got Cold Slither 2 part 2 version 2.
Right.
We listen to that again. You know, you get what I'm saying here. And then we're finally saying, all right, I'm happy with this. Send me the track list. I'll line it up. Yeah, that's it. But we need something else, and that's usually like a day before it drops.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I can see the amount of work and dedication that goes into this, including the fucking album cover. I mean, Jesus, it's awesome.
Well, you know, the artwork is always the draw. It's the draw. It's, you know.
What I mean is,
listen,
it's cohesive.
When we were young and we would go into record stores, what did you look at?
Yep.
The cover.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you know, sure, people might not get that we're redoing Delta Force on our cover, but you know, that shit is fucking funny. I don't care.
No, man, that's fucking magic, bro. That's gold.
Because I got the lead Marvin eyebrows.
Exactly. And the irony is that we're on the fucking cover holding a Uzi and a fucking bazooka and don't mention guns at all on the entire album.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Hey, man, that's a testament to how you do what you do and who you are. I mean, if it would have been you and Dust on the cover like B-boy stance with gold chains and half-naked chicks, you know what I mean? It's, you know.
That's going to be the next album.
Yeah, don't leak our idea.
Come on.
Sorry. No, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be that fucking Ice-T cover, but Dust is going to be in the fucking thong.
Whoa.
Easy. Ice-T will fucking come up and kick your ass.
I haven't lost that much weight yet.
Hey, but real quick, since we're talking about covers, man, I want to shout out Matt Jacobs, who is a phenomenal artist who did the Cobra-La Records logo. He did the Haskill Foley, Beverly Hills Cop joint, that promo. He did the fucking the Delta Force shit. He did the cover for 20,000 Leagues Under the LAC.
Wow.
He did my other T-shirt with the fucking the diver helmet and the fucking
with the octopus.
Yeah, the dude is on point. He's phenomenally talented. He's a comic book artist, and he's part of the camp. You know what I mean? It's like, to be honest with you, man, after we made Cold Slither, I didn't know if I was going to do any more records. I was just kind of going to walk away like that was it. It's just there's so many talented people that are on board, especially, Dust pushing me pushing Dust, MIDIchlorian's on board. Jay is fucking, on point. Otis rated R. It's like everybody's rallying around, and it's just fun, man. It's making art and having a good time at it, as opposed to feeling like you have to do this to make money.
Like I said, once it feels like work, I'm out.
Exactly. I completely agree.
You know what? Yeah, we could have got this done 3 months ago, but you know what? I did it at my pace.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, that said, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. You guys have daytime jobs. You're doing this out of passion. It's forged by fire, not a fucking sparkler at the corner store. Mm-hmm. What advice do you guys give, both from a production level to the MC level, to the new jacks out there that want to be just like you?
It's practice your craft, man. It's you know what it is? It's and there's nothing wrong with this, because take it from me, like when you write from an MC standpoint, when you write and you rap and you fucking say it back to yourself out loud, if it sounds corny, stop. You know what I mean? Like when you do shit and it sounds corny to you,
right?
Then maybe you're not cut out for that. There's too many people that think that they want to rap or want to be rappers because they can fucking rhyme cat in the hat and the baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not.
I see what you did there.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like crush people's dreams or anything like that, but it's like sometimes, listen, I rode the bench my entire senior year playing football, and I thought I was an awesome wide receiver. But you know what? I didn't play, and it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a knock on you if you try to rap and it doesn't work.
Hold on, he rhymed there again.
I saw what he did there.
See what he did there?
But it's not for everybody, dude. And that's okay. But don't embarrass yourself by trying to do a craft that you're maybe not cut out for, because you'll just look like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and getting your cadence down and get, all that kind of shit, then, get some equipment and make some fucking music. But don't push yourself to do something that you don't even really think you're good at.
Okay.
I'm sounding like an asshole right now, and I get that, but like I'm telling you, dude, there's just a lot of dudes that like I hear them rap, and I'm just like, you don't have any friends, because if you did, they fucking sucked.
Or you're paying for them.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dust, before you answer this question, I have to ask you this, and I know you've touched on this a couple of times. Explain to me Lil Wayne and the talent there, or lack thereof.
You want me to explain Lil Wayne?
I want Nate to hit this off first, because we've gone back and forth in the past.
I thought you asked me. I have no.
Oh, you're next.
I have no fucking clue, man.
Nate, Lil Wayne, shoot.
Listen.
Let's hear it. Cut the promo.
When Lil Wayne, all right, listen. When Lil Wayne wants to, he is a good MC. Dude's got bars. But I think that he falls victim to trying to make hits, which I can't hate on, because Lil Wayne is sitting on fucking $50 million and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But like, the dude's got bars. It's just like Drake. I don't like that Drake fucking sings to fucking chicks and does that thing, but that's his gimmick. You know what I'm saying? But Drake has fucking bars. If Kendrick Lamar is awesome. Kendrick Lamar's got bars. There's you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You might hear a Drake song and think it's fucking lame. You're right. You know what I mean? And you might be right, because I don't like a lot of Drake songs. But there's some Drake songs where like, fuck, this motherfucker can rap. But he's pandering to his audience. And it's the same thing that Wayne does. He panders to his audience. The problem with Wayne is that I feel like he just sits around and gets fucking loaded and fucking goes into the studio and fucking starts singing Lollipop and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Wayne's mixtapes are better than his albums. But the Carter 3 was a good fucking record. You know what I mean? aside from his radio hits, which I didn't really like, but like A Milli, that's a good fucking song. And I have no problem giving props where props is due.
Right.
I just feel like since then Wayne has just spiraled into some other shit. You know what I mean? And he's just not, in my opinion, not making really good music anymore.
I really dropped out of hip hop personally. I would say like the mid to late 90s when that whole Southern, Master P, Cash Money bullshit took over and everything became yes, exactly. Everything just became so basic, and electronic, and the whole I don't know. It just seemed to lose its value and flavor. Do you think that the mainstream hip hop audience has been dumbed down since the electronic music took over the genre, where everything was just mass produced? Do you think over a period of time things have just kind of dumbed down the audience?
Absolutely. It's there's no question. Listen, I have an 18-year-old stepdaughter who, when we're in the car, we'll put on the local hip hop station, Power 106. Right. And literally, I can't get through 20 fucking seconds of 75% of the songs that are on the radio.
Right.
It's for the club. Like those songs, when they play when you're fucking loaded in the club and you're taking shots and you're fucking dancing and shit.
Right.
Like I said, I've danced to plenty of terrible fucking rap songs and, bobbed my head in the club, whatever. But it just didn't used to be like that. Like you would hear shit on the radio and it would be like, there's no way they would play that in the club.
Right.
Just because it was just too over. It's like Master Killa said it best. He goes, the dumb are mostly intrigued by the drum. And that's not a knock on producers making beats. That's saying that the public, that's all they listen to.
Right.
So you can ask the random hip-hop fan what their favorite songs are, and they'll say, X, Y, and Z. But then if you say to them, well, give me some lines from the song, the only part they know is the hook.
Right.
So the person on the verses could literally be saying, fucking singing the alphabet, and
right.
nobody would notice, which sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no retention from a lyrical standpoint. They're just digging the music, just bouncing around. That's it.
Right, but everybody knows every fucking word to a Journey song.
Yeah, so true, man.
It's because it's people don't look at it like it sucks to say, but people don't look at hip hop like a real art. And it's because today's hip hop is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
You have to really dig. And now there's a lot of good hip hop out there. And I mean a lot. But you won't find it on MTV or on BET or on the radio. You know what I mean?
It's like anything. It's like any genre of music. You're not going to hear it commercially. You're going to find it underground.
Right.
Whether it was punk, heavy metal, whatever it is, it's not going to be mainstream. But that's why we have guys like you two. Speaking of which, Cold Slither 2, tell us more about it. Give us the details. Show us some love. Give us something, you cheap bastards.
What do you say? You want to drop a little something off Cold Slither 2? We dropped the first single.
Yes, we did. We missed you too. We missed you too.
We missed you too.
which is.
We missed you too.
The other thing too is that fucking half of the fun for me is naming the tracks.
Yes.
Because 9 times out of 10, the name of the track has nothing to do with the hook
yes.
or with fucking anything.
Yeah. Or even sometimes I'll send them, I have to name every beat I make because it can't be beat 01, beat 02, beat 03, and I'll just put something in there, and I'm like, next thing you know, it's like, yeah, that's the name of the track. I'm like, really? Okay. All right, we're going to go with that. We're going to make it work. And it works. That's what it is. So off Cold Slither 2, we're going to drop a little bit off there. I don't know if you want to do
I think we should do Fly in My Suit.
The whole track?
I don't know, not the whole track, but we could, play
Oh,
something.
fuck that, man. Flying my damn soup, son. And the funny thing about Flying My Damn Soup is kind of like Hail Hydra. The album was almost done, and the beat was going to be for the Four Horsemen project.
Yep.
And, Nate got on it, and we got Otis. Otis dropped something on it, and then he sent it back, and I'm like, wow, man, I don't know if I could wait another 3-4 months to drop this.
Well, because originally I said to Dust, I go, in the one time that I hopped into one of the R.O.C. fucking hangouts, shout out to the Realm of Collectors hangouts, go check it out on YouTube, go fucking buy the t-shirt, do all that fucking shit. On fire and taking over the fucking toy game.
Giddy up.
And Dust and I had a couple drinks, and we were in the fucking hangout.
No way. I wasn't sleeping?
No. I had said to him, hey, what about 5? No. We're not giving that one away. We're not fucking doing this. And I was like, you don't want to put it on the record? Nope.
I was trying to hold on to that shit, man. I was like,
Like a week and a half ago, he texted me, he goes, yo, Flying My Soup has to be on the album. And I'm like, motherfucker, I told you that 2 weeks ago. And then he just replies back with, don't listen to me.
Yeah, we can't wait because that was going to be a Four Horsemen track. With me and MIDIchlorian. Shout out to MIDI.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know if I can wait for this. This has to come out now. This definitely, and it's kind of like a teaser to show people where we're going next.
Right. Absolutely. So, and it's funny because I had written down, there's a fly in my soup for probably like 3 months. And I had it just that stupid phrase because I thought it was funny. And so I'm like, at some point I'm going to work that into a verse because it's funny. I just don't know how I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do before or after it.
Well,
so
nobody listened to it. Do we hit him off with some little bit of a lyric, or do you want to just a little bit of lyric into the hook? Because I think that's the hook is what brings them in. Yeah.
Well, let's just drop the hook.
All right.
Get it off. Let's do it. Fly in my soup. Giddy up.
For loot, I ain't jumping through no hoops. All these rappers is obtuse. There's a screw in my head loose. There's a fly in my damn soup. There's a stain on my new suit. There's rain on my tin roof. There's a screw in my head loose. There's a fly in my damn soup.
So I had that written down, and then I got that beat, which is a Sith Lord production, which is, Dust and MIDI collaborating. And I'm listening to the beat, and I'm sitting here in my fucking man cave, and I'm, medicating. And the hook just kept going, there's a fly in my damn soup. There's a fly in my damn soup. Like, just snickering to myself. And then I was like, there's rain on my tin roof. There's a stain on my new suit. Just making up just stupid shit.
Yeah, everything negative. You get all this shit.
Bad shit is happening.
I got all this shit going on, man. And now what? Fuck.
Right, exactly.
Damn it, man. There's a fly in my damn soup, man. Right. Fuck.
So then I was like, all right. So it's one of the few tracks that I actually wrote the hook for prior to the verses. You know what I mean? And then I sent it to Otis, and then Otis was like, oh, this is bananas. We got to do this. So then he did his, and I did mine. And then I go on YouTube, and I just typed in, there's a fly in my soup, looking for a sample, and then came across the most fucking ingenious shit.
I don't think we need to give that away. Let's
all right.
I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what? We're giving away the ranch, but I don't think we need to.
You know what? You're right. That'll be for part 2 after the album comes out.
But honestly, when I hear this shit, and I listen to it on the way home from work, and I'm like, I'm 20 minutes, from my job, and I'm like, halfway home, it's third time, fourth time, fifth time, you know what I mean? And I got to listen to the whole intro into it and the outro. I listen to everything, and I'm like, you know what? This is dope because this not only is this a sample that I wanted to use for a long time, This shit is just fucking banging, man, banging.
And that'll be the next official single after we drop the record, just so people know.
Okay.
I didn't even run that by Dust until just now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was like, hold on. What's that?
I am 3 of these deep. I am 3 tall boys deep, and I am making shot calling.
You don't even. No. Yeah. So that's the second. That's gonna be the second single off Cold Slither 2. All right, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. All in.
So one last time, big things happening. Nathan Haskill, Dustmightz, Cobra-La Records. The future is now. Tell us more about who's coming. Who is it?
We're coming. Shit. I'm fucking.
When's the
Dust and I are coming with Cold Slither 2. Me, Midi, and Dust and Otis are coming on some Four Horsemen shit.
Woo! What's the time frame?
We're not talking about the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse. We're talking about
what's causing all this.
By the way, Dust, I have a brilliant idea for the album cover for that already. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Otis Roycroft is on that. Conphusion is dropping his second album. B Done is coming out with Chameleon soon. Just watch for Python Patrol and the whole Cobra-La record.
Python Patrol. Wait for that. That's going to be the killer, man. That's the Cobra-La mixtape. Mm-hmm. If anybody that's into hip-hop knows mixtapes, it's kind of like how it's off the wall where everything goes, your posse cuts. You got single joints. You got your hits, your 130 freestyles. You know what I mean? 130, I mean a minute and 30-second long freestyles. It's gonna be that street record where you just fucking toss it out your car as you're driving. Bam, 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 bam. Start hitting motherfuckers in the head with that shit.
Straight out of the trunk, old school.
No, definitely Python.
Yeah, man.
That fucking Cobra-La shit.
Yep. Let's go.
Right, I personally am very much looking forward to the Four Horsemen compilation. That sounds fucking bananas. Love it. Dig it. Buy the shirt. Buy the material. Follow, like, feel, fuck, lick, whatever you have to do. Nathan Haskill, Dustmightz, Cobra-La Records, R.O.C. Spotlight. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. We're out.
Peace. Thanks for listening.
No doubt, son.
Hey, yo. Yeah, we missed you too.
This is Cold Slither Part 2. By now, you should be Cold Slithering too. We Hans Zimmer and fools. This is a layman, Damon, Killian, Running Man review. You'll be joining us soon. Redo, where is a redux? Damn, it's tough, giving 0 fucks. I'm a klutz, way I fall hard over these beats. I'm both jaws and odd job. You fucking with geeks, not soft when it comes to Dustmightz Radio.
Get your fingers dirty.